Today we'll be making chocolate Swiss roll cake, for which the ingredients are divided into three parts. The first two parts are for preparing the cake and the third part is the filling. So for the first part we have here all-purpose flour, that is around 40 to 50 grams. We have 3 egg yolks, around 10 ml of oil, cocoa powder, that's around 10 grams of cocoa powder, or you can say 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder. Milk, warm milk, that is if it is required. If the batter is too thick, then we use warm milk, that's around 10 to 15 ml. We have here, I'll be using the flour, all-purpose flour, and not the baking flour. So I have to use baking soda for that. So I have here half teaspoon of baking soda and some amount of baking soda along with vanilla essence. So that's around 1 teaspoon. And sugar. Sugar is around 20 to 25 grams of sugar. Apart from these ingredients, for making the cake, we have here the egg whites, that is 3 egg whites, and a pinch of vanilla essence and sugar. This sugar is around 40 to 45 grams of sugar. For the filling, I have here, very simple, that's the third part. You can also make custard, vanilla custard for the filling or whatever you like. I have here the whipping cream, which I have already whipped it, and I have added to it half teaspoon of vanilla essence and sugar, around 1 tablespoon of sugar in the whipping cream. So let's get started. So first I will be adding in this bowl some oil, and I'm going to mix the cocoa powder in the oil. Mix it well. Now I'm going to add to it eggs, the egg yolk, mix it well too, and the sugar. Now I will be adding to it the baking soda and the vanilla essence along with it. Since I said I'm not using the all-purpose flour, that is I'm using the all-purpose flour and not the baking flour, self-rising flour. I'm not using that. So I have added to it the baking soda and along with that vanilla essence. Alright, so this much is done. Now, as before adding the flour to this batter, I need to add the milk. As I can see, this is quite thick as per the consistency what I need. So I'm going to add to it around 10 ml of milk and mix this whole thing well. Alright, you have to really mix this well, make a nice paste of it. Now this is nice paste. I'll add the rest of it, it's just a little bit left. So the rest of the milk Now I'm going to mix everything well, and we are going to add our flour. Now here goes the flour. I'll just divide it into two parts. I'm going to mix it that way. This is the first part, mix it. Now the first part is mixed well. Let's add the last part, the second part. Mix this part well too. Now the second part is mixed well too. If you find the batter too thick for your cake, then you can add around 10 to 15 ml of warm water to it. But I think this is alright. That's okay. But in case if you find it, or you can add more of a little bit of milk. Alright, so now we're going to keep this aside, and we are going to get to the next part, that is the egg yolks. So what I'm going to do is, I'll just keep the whipping cream back in the fridge, because that's the last part, and we're going to start with the second part, that is the beating of the 3 egg whites and sugar and vanilla essence. So we'll do that now. Alright, to start with this, I'm going to use a hand beater. You can also do it by hand, but it really takes time, around 20 to 25 minutes continuous of beating with hands, so that will be a bit difficult. Well, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these in this pot. I'm going to add the egg whites, and I'm going to start beating them with the hand mixture. Alright. First we're going to beat them slow, in a slow speed, and then I'll fast the speed of it. Fluffing up, we're going to add to it the sugar, a little bit of sugar first, then a little bit more, and now a little bit, the last part of sugar I'm adding. Now I'm gonna add to it the vanilla essence, a pinch of vanilla essence powder. Now this has to be really fluffy and stiff. It should not look, it's not getting down. It is fluffy and quite stiff. You can see. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add to it our chocolate batter, and we are going to mix it very slowly. Or what I can do is I can also, instead of adding this, I'll add the egg yolks into the chocolate batter. Alright, so now let's start adding it. Take a little bit of it, and first I'll add half of it. We have to be very careful with it, that we don't beat a lot now. and very gently. Alright, I'm going to add the rest of it. Now this is nicely mixed. What we are going to do is, now I'm just going to take the baking dish, a rectangular one, so that it's, we can make a good roll out of it. I have already greased it with butter and put the parchment paper or the baking paper on it. Now I'm going to add to it our batter. And we are going to bake this for around 15 minutes on 185 degrees centigrade. All right. Okay, so now we're going to bake this for 15 minutes on 185 degrees centigrade. Before I pop this into the oven, I'm just going to dab this. You can see the air bubbles, so I don't want them. Just dab it, just a little bit, and I'll put this in. Baking, this has been baked and I have cooled down this one for a little while. I'm going to just remove it from the baking dish, and I'm going to just take a kitchen towel and flip this around, flip this over. After 15 minutes of baking, this has been baked really nice. Well, I'm going to take out the parchment paper. Right, this is still warm, so I'm not going to add to it the cream right now, but after it comes to the room temperature, I feel I'll just let it cool down and just roll it with this thing right here. Just roll it this way and keep this on a side for a little while, around 5 to 10 minutes, and we are going to come back after 5 to 10 minutes. So now after 10 minutes, I'm just going to take this. I've got my whipping cream out of the fridge, and we are going to do the filling now. Right. Just going to take this and put it here, so it's ready for the filling. I'm not going to go till the end of the sides like here, because anyway when we're going to roll it, it's going to cover that side up. I just well, so this is quite covered with the filling. Now I'm going to just do the main part, that is the rolling of this thing. very carefully. Now I have rolled this way. If you wish, you can also roll the other way, like from this side. So it's on you, I mean. Now here it is. Nice. All right. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just put this in a dish. I'm going to place this in this dish right here. Don't need that anymore. All right, and I'm going to add to it or sprinkle some powdered sugar on it. Just sprinkle some powdered sugar on it. It looks lovely then. You can also make some designs with the pastry bags on it. That's it. Thanks for watching. Here it is. Do make a try. See you next time. Bye.